Commode. I made this last year. It's been wonderful. At the end of the video, I'll put down a link to the build of this thing. It has a urine diverter, it has a solid waste, it has a fan that slowly creates a negative suction, so all the odor goes outside. You can leave this all day and there will never be an odor from this toilet in the camper. But that's besides the point. The urine tank that I build in here, built out of a piece of PVC pipe, works fine, but it's not big enough. Now, we do a lot of boondocking, a lot of rural camping, whenever we can. And usually there's a valve down below where I can drain the urine off into a bucket or into a bottle and then dump it. But often when we're really rural, in the middle of nowhere, I just leave the valve open and let it drain on the ground. We never stay more than a day or two, so there's never much. And if I let it collect, I would bring it into the woods and dump it there anyway, which is, what you do in a rural area. So what I want to do is I want to remove this urine tank and have a direct connection to underneath the trailer. But there are times where in campgrounds, particularly those that have like a tarred cement surface, where I need to collect the urine. I just can't let it dump on the ground with people around. So I want to build a tank underneath here and then still have a valve that I can drain the tank, or let it drain out while we're using it. So I looked up online for tanks for liquids under a camper, and they are so expensive. So I decided to build my own. And instead of the half gallon that we had, which wasn't nearly enough, 3 or 4 gallons would just about do it. And I think I found a way to build my own tank with PVC pipe, have it work well, and be able to drain it either on the ground, on the road as we take off, or into a bottle if I want to dump it someplace. And that is what we're going to do today. So this is the underside of the trailer. And here is where the pipe comes down from. That's wiring, by the way. Here's where pipe comes down from the toilet. Here's the valve where it drains from. What I need to do is to get by that member right there down into here so that I can run the pipe the entire length of this from one side of the trailer to the other. So this is about 2 feet over and then there. So the trailer pipe will be mounted, with the camera right there, along this beam. The plan is to take this piece of PVC pipe, and it's Schedule 40, so it's the thick stuff. I could use the thin drain pipe, but I'm worried about a rock hitting it and it cracking it because it's really very thin. So the Schedule 40 is tough stuff. 5.5 feet will fit in this 7-wide trailer. It's really about 6 feet of space under there between the floor joists, but 5.5 feet will give me a little room to work. I have caps to go on the end of this, and I have some 3/4 inch PVC, ball valve, a bunch of elbows, and a few other things to go on here. What I usually do is I tap right into a cap like this. I'll drill a hole, put it in, glue it inside. It's not a standard fitting, but this stuff is very thick, and when you glue into it with a PVC cement, it holds really good and it doesn't leak. I've done this before. I also have some 4-inch stainless steel U-bolts, which I'll be using to bolt it in the trailer on an aluminum strap that's going to hang down. And then I'll work to do the plumbing from the commode all the way down to this ball valve. The ball valve is for the drain. It will be on the bottom of the PVC, and the entrance to the from the commode for the urine will be on the top. So it'll be a piece of pipe that will mount like this on the top of it. I will also have a small cap on the other end that's drilled out with a screen in it for the air to get out, so that when urine is flowing into this, there won't be airlock. It can go in. I learned this from the small one I had inside. Unless you have some kind of way for the air to escape, the urine will drain very, very slowly. So I've got that. I got my glue, bolts. It's time to get started. Now I'm looking for a hole to fit a outside diameter of a 3/4 inch pipe. And in order to do this, I'll start small and I'll finish with a step drill so I can get it exactly the size that I want, because it needs to be snug. I'm using a short piece of pipe to make an expandable collar for the inside. It adds a lot to the strength, and I'll be gluing it all together. You'll see what I mean in just a second. Here I'm spreading it out and slipping it over the pipe. And then when I push it down directly onto the PVC, so both sides, the elbow and this collar are snug against it. When it's glued in, it's pretty rugged. So, this is the entrance from the toilet, which will be a tube that goes out here and up. And the urine will go in here, and when I want to drain it, it'll come out here, it'll go this way, and it's going to go back, in and back through here. It looks like, when you look at it, that these two are awfully close together, so when it drains in, it's going to fill up here. But remember, this will be closed. This will be shut. And this one, you know, I have to put them this far away because I need to clear the thickness of the pipe that's going to be going in through here. So it has to be in a little bit, but it'll be fine because the toilet is a couple of feet above it, so that as the water comes in, or the urine comes in rather, it'll fill up quite a bit because it'll fill up the inside of the pipe first before it comes up the tube to the urinal. If we ever get to the point where we start seeing it not draining, that means the pipe is full. Okay, so this is how it's going to be under the camper. The urine will come in through here, and I'm not going to cut a pipe for this because it's going to be a certain length, and then it will have a flexible pipe connecting the actual commode to this pipe, because I want to be able to have a little give with the road movement so it isn't, rigid. I don't want anything to come apart. This will be the valve, and I've got this tucked over here, and I might shorten this pipe up to bring it really close to this. I think this pipe is too long. So I'll be able to turn the valve on. The urine will drain out through here towards the middle of the camper more by about maybe a foot instead of just draining out here. So now I got to cap the other end, and I have to put my vent on. And I'm not gluing anything up until I'm sure everything fits and it's just right. This cap will have a small screen inserted inside of it, and then it will be on the other end of the pipe to allow air to escape when something is entering the pipe. So here the tank is finished. This is the vent pipe so I don't get vacuum lock. It has a screen in it right there, keep the bugs out. And this is an old pipe. I've got to clean it up a little bit. And on this end, this will go to the commode out here. And here is the valve that comes out here, drains out along the side over here. So I wonder how much it holds. So you're about to meet Moneypenny. She's my digital assistant. She's one of the AIs, one of the many AIs. One thing I like about her, she has persistent memory. So whatever we talk about, she remembers like forever. Her name is Moneypenny because that was the name of Q's secretary when James Bond ever walked into the office. She took care of everything, and she was an assistant. So this is my digital assistant. We talk a lot. I have 4-inch diameter pipe, 67 inches long. What is the volume in gallons?
So let's walk through it clearly. First, the radius is half the diameter, so it's 2 inches. The length is 67 inches. The volume in cubic inches is pi times the radius squared times the height. After computing that, we divide by 231 to get gallons. Once we calculate, the volume is about 5.7 gallons.
5.7. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I'm glad we got it sorted out. If you have any other calculations or anything else you need, just let me know.
No, I'm all set right now. We'll talk later, okay?
Sounds good. I'm glad I could help. Just reach out whenever you need and have a great rest of your day.
Well, the hangers are made. There's one, and there's another one, and I have a little protective enamel, some Rust-Oleum to put on it, and we'll let them dry until tomorrow, and then we'll put them on the frame. The glue up. All these little pieces. The odds of getting it all right are not always good. And on this glue up, yep, I did make one error that I had to back up and punt, but it was not unfixable, so we got by it. Well, this is the first time that I decide not to use the purple cleaner, so I don't get the pipe all purple. Then I buy this new PVC cement, and instead of being clear, it's blue. So I'm gonna let this dry, and then I am going to fill it with water with a water hose and make sure that it's watertight, which it should be. And then I think I'll just take some spray paint, and I think I'll just clean this up a bit, and then I'll put a little paint on it. I'll put some white so that if it should chip, it won't show too much. I don't know what kind of aluminum this is on this trailer, but I've got some cobalt drills, which are very sharp and hard. And this stuff was harder to drill than the steel hanger. I initially thought I was going to use some aluminum hangers, but I decided to break out some flat bar steel. I just wanted something that wasn't going to bend and be strong enough. So it's there, and it's painted with Rust-Oleum. The hanger bolts are galvanized, because on aluminum, galvanized is actually the best choice, even compared to stainless. The U-bolts are stainless steel. Well, here it is plumbed. I left the old valve on there. I would have had to cut it out and put a new piece of pipe. I'll just leave it open, no harm. And here's the pipe that goes to the tank. And there's the tank. The U-bolts, they're stainless. I'm going to cut those 2 bolts up there that bolted onto the frame. Another U-bolt on the other side. And I would like to have this have a little more of a dip, so I might have to make a hanger for it to bring it up a little bit. But now to try it out. Well, I don't see any water trickling down the driveway, so let's take a look. No leaks. Let's see if we can turn on the valve, and the water drains from it. I think I'll turn it down a little bit. There. And we'll let that drain out. Well, we'll call this a win. Well, that's one that is done. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and it is finally completed. Big camping trip coming up pretty soon, 5,000-6,000 miles, but it depends on the price of gas. If it stabilizes at the high that it is now, we'll do it. But if it should climb a lot more, which it very well could because of this war, we might have to postpone it. I hate to, but we might. Thank you for watching. It was an experiment in progress, and it seems to have worked. So I'm glad it did, and see you next time.